Hi, this is Fore Golf, and I want to talk to you today about the 8 mistakes that golfers make that could be stopping them from shooting lower. Number 1, missing a tap-in. We've all done it. I've done it for sure. But the fact that a tap-in putt is worth the same as a 300-yard drive should give you every incentive to ensure that you take just a little bit more care and attention over that little tap-in. Number 2, playing the hero escape. There's a typical rule that you shouldn't play a shot that you can't execute 8 out of 10 times. When we find ourselves in the trees, we often think that we can hit a window this big when we couldn't hit a 60-yard fairway that got us there in the first place. Take your medicine, chip it out, give yourself a chance to get up and down. Whatever level you're at, you can learn from that one. Number 3, getting the wrong yardage. Whether you're using an app or whether you're using a laser rangefinder, you could easily zap the wrong thing. It's going to lead to you having the wrong information and therefore potentially not playing the best shot that you could. Number 4, we all do it, not taking enough club. Personally, I use Arcos, and that shows me that I miss the green short more than I do long. And I'll bet if you took stats on your own game, that would be the same. Amateur golfers, we always think that we're hitting to our potential distance all the time. We consider that our average distance. It probably isn't. So if you've got an app like Arcos that actually gives you an average distance, it should give you a better indication of how far you actually hit your clubs. Safest rule, take one more. If you start going long every time, then you can go back to the original club. Number 5, forgetting to account for elevation. Changes of elevations do different things to different clubs even. So when you've got a longer club and you're hitting it downhill, it's actually going to come down at a steeper angle and it's not going to run as much. Conversely, if you have a short club and you're hitting uphill, it will actually roll out more. Taking those things into account will actually help you hit better golf shots. And again, don't let ego be your guide when you're doing that. If it's uphill, hit more club. When you write down on the scorecard, there are no pictures there. It doesn't say what club you hit. So just hit the right club for the right shot, and 9 times out of 10, you'll be doing the right thing. Number 6, hitting the lip in a fairway bunker. We've all been there. You found a fairway bunker, you're a little bit frustrated, you think I can still get to the green, but you've got that lip that's just a little bit in front of you. Now, the smart thing would be just to take your sand wedge or your pigeon wedge or whatever it is and just get the thing back onto the fairway. But you think, no, I've got this in me. A really quick way that I've learned is to actually put the club that you're intending to hit onto the ground and then stand on it so that the shaft comes up in the air. That will tell you the approximate launch angle of that club. And obviously you can't do that in the bunker, but if you do it to the side, you can kind of get a rough idea for how it might launch. If in doubt, more loft. Getting it out is way more important and less embarrassing than leaving it in there. Number 7, failing to read a putt properly. And I say properly, because everyone gets up and they look behind the ball and they get an idea of how it's going to move towards the hole. But sometimes you have to take in the other aspects as well. I always find walking behind and having a look from the other side either reaffirms or sometimes completely contradicts what I'm seeing from the other side. If that's the case, I normally go straight at it. Equally, walking around to the side will give you an idea of the slope. All of these things considered, the one thing I will add to this is once you have fallen in love with that line, do not forget to hit it. Pace is just as important as line, and I would argue is even more important than line, because if you happen to hit something with the right pace, but you get the line slightly wrong, you're only going to be a little bit away from the hole. The other way round could be pretty disastrous. The final one, number 8, and I think the most important out of everything that we've talked about today, dwelling on bad shots. We all hit bad shots. Professional golfers, tour pros hit bad shots. But the one thing that they do not do is let that get to them. Easier said than done, and don't get me wrong, I've had my fair share of angry days on a golf course, but it definitely doesn't help when you're still thinking about the missed tap-in that you had 3 holes ago, or the time you left it in the bunker, or the one you hit out of bounds. They're gone. You can't do anything about them. All you can do now is try and play as well as you can between now and the end of the round, and maybe you'll just salvage something. I think success at this game is dependent upon mental fortitude and how well you think yourself or think around the golf course, rather than it is how pretty your swing is or anything else. If you're able to forget about the bad shit and just get on with it, you're going to do a lot better because you won't be holding on to anything. And also the scar tissue doesn't build up nearly as quickly that way. They talk about a goldfish memory, although I think they disproved that goldfish can actually think for a long time. But anyway, you need to be like the proverbial goldfish where you've forgotten about the bad shot almost as soon as it's happened. Of course, if you keep hitting the same bad shot over and over, but because you keep forgetting about it, you don't do anything about it, that's probably not ideal either. Okay, that is it for today. Comment below with the other mistakes you think I've left off this list. My name is Dave, this is 4 Golf. I'll see you next time. If you did enjoy the video, smash that like and share it around. Also, if you really did enjoy the content and you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time.